The Nintendo Cinematic Universe, a project that I've been working on a while now, and honestly more than half of my videos over the last 2 months have been on this topic. I've posted a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3 similar to the MCU. I even posted a video asking ChatGPT to make its own Nintendo Cinematic Universe. Now I also posted 2 other videos in the middle that had nothing to do with Nintendo, and they didn't do as well the Nintendo projects. So it's time for Nintendo Cinematic Universe's Level 4. Before I start, I just want to say this isn't going to be like the other Nintendo Cinematic Universe videos. It's not going to have a chronological timeline. I'm just going to say the types of projects that I want to see in the future. So just want to give that warning before I start. So here we go. We start off with the 3rd season of EarthBound, where Lucas and Ness will take on Gigas, but discover his past with a new character, or old character, depending on how you look at it, in Ninten, the protagonist from the first Mother game. This is pretty much going to set up that all 3 of the protagonists from these games are going to come together to take on Gigas, which is the main antagonist of those games, and will now be the main antagonist of this show. There will also be one episode of the season which will feature the Ice Climbers, as they team up with Lucas and Ness, where I didn't mention level 3, but in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate movie, where you have the team of characters that don't have their own worlds, like Dr. Mario or Captain Falcon, one of the other members, or I guess 2 of the other members, would be the Ice Climbers, and they would end up going to the world of Lucas and Ness of EarthBound. So we're going to see them in one episode here. Another project is a Season 3 of Fire Emblem based off the game Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and then a Season 4 based off Fire Emblem Awakening. Even though Awakening came out first, I decided to have Awakening be the final season since it ties into some of the characters from the previous games. I also think closing off the Fire Emblem seasons and the overall show with these 2 games will be incredible, considering a lot of people say that these are some of the best Fire Emblem games. So I think closing it out with these would be great. We will also be seeing a Pikmin movie where Rosalina dies and Olimar needs to take down the threat that defeated her and become the new prince of the Super Mario Galaxy, where this story will tie in with the Pikmin games in a lot of ways. Also seen is a Captain Toad film, which will show Toad bringing up a threat to Princess Peach that she's ignoring, but it's dangerous for the Toad race. So he'll take the lead to stop this threat in the form of the scavenging bird, Wingo. Now off to the Super Mario movies. We will see another Super Mario movie where I actually got this idea from my last episode on ChatGPT's Nintendo Cinematic Universe, so if you want to hear those film ideas, you can click on that video with the link above. This film will be the beginning of a new trilogy for Mario, where it starts with Dr. Mario, who is new to this world, being jealous of being looked at by everybody as the inferior Mario and losing his world. He comes across a frog named Wart that says he could make all his wishes come true by making him this world's Mario. So he agrees, and it causes the actual Mario to get sucked into Wart's dream world. The other characters like Luigi, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Peach eventually realize this Mario isn't their Mario and go into Dream World to find him by making a deal with Wart, where if they can't retrieve him by a certain time, they're all doomed to stay in Dream World forever, unless a new deal is made. When thrown into this world, Wart shows his manipulation of dreams by making Dr. Mario and Luigi into their iconic baby forms. By the end of this film, they are all about to be doomed and are not going to escape in time, although they are able to find the other Mario. So they decide to make another deal to extend their time to escape. But Wart says the deal will be that Princess Peach will be his queen. She agrees so that they can eventually escape, even though she obviously does not want to stay with him. When she agrees, Wart says this deal must be sealed with a kiss. This will be a play on the princess kissing the frog, but in this situation, both of the characters change, as it is revealed Wart is not a frog at all, and Princess Peach also switches forms into the Dark Queen. She will become the main antagonist from the Paper Mario games, as we see the end of the film go into 2D with the Paper Mario design, setting up the next film to have the Paper Mario animation style. Also, everybody is pissed at Dr. Mario throughout the film, but Mario forgives him and is the only one who really respects him throughout this. Now in the sequel to that film, we'll see the Dark Queen fight against Mario, Dr. Mario, Luigi, Toad, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi in the Paper Mario art style. The film will have a ton of Easter eggs from the 2D Mario games, the original Donkey Kong game, and the Paper Mario games. Eventually, they'll defeat the Dark Queen, and the only antagonist left to take on will be Wart's human form, who is nowhere to be found. So the team is able to escape back to the real world, only to find Wart has taken over the Mushroom Kingdom and has even imprisoned Bowser and his armies. The relationship between Dr. Mario and Mario continues growing in this film, where he's slowly gaining the trust of Luigi after he tells Luigi about his own brother from his world. The third film will show the forces of the Mushroom Kingdom uniting to help Bowser escape and then take on Wart's human form. In the final battle, we'll see Dr. Mario die as a sacrifice to save everybody, where he tells Mario it's time to let somebody else be the hero. But as the film comes to a close, we find out the original Mario actually sacrificed himself, so Dr. Mario could be the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom for the future. So this is the Mario trilogy that I think would be really interesting to close it out, and it still leaves a lot of stories open for the future, but it also allows for a new protagonist, even though he's going to look the exact same. Now, after this story is another Legend of Zelda film based on the events of Majora's Mask taking place in Termina rather than Hyrule. I know this game chronologically takes place before Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but it's enough of a self-contained story to still function and continue this franchise. But it will also change the story to have Link be older in this film. It will have a lot of similarities to Logan, the film about Wolverine, with the way Link acts around others since he now sees no value to what he's doing since Ganondorf is gone. So his journey to Termina will be a fresh taste of a new environment for him, where he feels fulfilled one more time, but hangs up the sword at the end of the film. Another two projects will be a prequel film based off the Great Pokemon War, focusing in on LT Surge, named Pokemon Untold, alongside a sequel to Pokemon Unleashed and Pokemon Unseen, to close out that trilogy with Pokemon Unranked, where we see Ash train and take on Red for the title of Pokemon Master in a very Rocky-esque story. Once again, a criticism I had for Pokemon films was, if Nintendo Cinematic Universe is a love letter to the games, then why is Ash the protagonist? Well, bringing in LT Surge and Red into the franchise is partially used to deter these criticisms and stories I think everybody would want to be told, whether it be through theories of the Great War fans of the games have had for years, or to end the debate of who is better between Ash and Red. Also, similar to how Marvel has now started making special presentations like Werewolf by Night and the Guardians Holiday Special, I could see special presentations being made once or twice a year in the world of Pokemon, calling them Pokemon Heroes, with a tagline afterwards, which shows the protagonists of each of the Pokemon games having their own mini-story in the world of Pokemon that could be themed to a holiday like Christmas or Halloween, depending on the Pokemon, where we could even potentially see quick teases showing it's part of the same world as Ash and Red's. Some of these stories could include Lyra from Pokemon Gold and Silver in a Christmas special where she meets Delibird, Calum from Pokemon X and Y in a Chinese New Year special with Pangoro, and more. Now we continue to the next project, which is a second season of Animal Crossing, which will be released with one episode focusing on the Wii Fit lady, which, like I mentioned, she's one of those that loses her home world, and she's gonna go to the Animal Crossing world, and it's gonna keep the Office style, and honestly this episode is probably gonna feel more like a parody than an actual episode. Then we'll have a second season of Xenoblade, a second season of Kid Icarus, which will show Dark Pit as the antagonist, and a third season of Star Fox will also be seen alongside a sequel to Splatoon's, and Metroid, and Kirby. But those are all up for grabs with no story details as of now, where not all will be part of Level 4. For Metroid, we kind of closed out Metroid Prime already, so it's going to be a story that follows with one of the newer games. But to close off Level 4 would be another Smash film, where Level 3 had Galeem as the villain and was based off Smash Bros. Ultimate, but ignores the presence of Darkin. But this film will set our protagonists to take on Darkin, but it will be a decent amount of years into the future to warrant the next Mario trilogy to take place, and give way for other new projects. Like, I would also mention that I would love to see a specific DLC character in the form of Pac-Man, which would be his original 1980s TV show version, considering it doesn't seem like Pac-Man is gonna get a movie anytime soon. Now, if they do, I would switch it and I would have it be that version. But I also think you can just play with the DLC character being 1980s Pac-Man from the TV show, where it can be similar to the 1967 Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse. And another thing I want to mention is this would probably be Link's last movie, where he's going to be recruited by the team to once again fight with the team from Smash Bros. But by the end of the film, he will sacrifice himself and he's gonna say he tried retirement and he didn't enjoy it. And it's gonna be an emotional ending showing Link's death. And it will also allow for Zelda to be the future hero in potential future Legend of Zelda projects. And then I'll just say that there is another Smash film that would come after as the 5th and final film to close everything out, which will have an original antagonist rather than one we know from the Smash games. If you're interested in hearing more about any of these projects or want an actual level 4 and level 5 video with an actual timeline for everything, please let me know down below because I would love to make that video eventually. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see you next time on Big Flick Energy.